Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24, it says, "Let us consider one another, provoking unto love and to good work." Listen, this is not just for pastors, but it's for all believers. This is for all y'all. It's for everybody. We all need to consider one another, to provoke one another to faith and to good works. It says of a healthy body that every joint and every ligament supplies. Every joint, every ligament contributes. So you can't supply unless you've been supplied. If you ain't supplied, you ain't supplying. And so listen, if you're coming into His presence and you're drawing near and you're enjoying that fellowship that you can have with your Father, and if you're holding fast to the hope that you have because of the promise of the one who's faithful, well then you got something to give. Then you can supply. And so don't hoard it, don't sit alone. It says what you're to do with that is you consider one another. I mean, we consider ourselves all the time, don't we? We consider ourselves all of the time. And so the writer, he says, what we should do then is we consider each other. And then he says we're to provoke one another. Now, not many of us do that very well in the church, provoking one another. It's kind of a little bit of an interesting word. It's almost aggressive. It can mean, in our modern jargon, to bug, that we should bug one another. It means that we should irritate one another. Remember Paul and Barnabas in the book of Acts, they kind of got into an argument and they separate because the contention between the two of them was so great. And so they separated. Well, that's our word here, contention. And so, in a negative sense, you're bugging somebody, you're irritating somebody, but this is saying that you should be a blessed irritant. That's what it's telling us, that we should be positive pests. It's funny, when people get saved, and if you've ever had the joy of leading somebody to the Lord, listen, your job isn't over. Your job now is to bug them. And if you're not bugging them, listen, you're not doing your job. You should be calling them. You should be reaching out to them every single week. Let's go to church. Hey, are you reading your Bible? Hey, are you part of the group? Are you involved with things here at church? Are you involved with your relationship with the Lord? That's your job. You bug them. And that's exactly what it's saying here. Let us consider one another, to provoke one another, to irritate one another in a positive direction.